It was November 1st. Going into a new spot we've never really been in before. I've walked through it in the past, doing some scouting, but it was kind of one of those warm, dreary days. It was spitting rain. I said, I don't really want to take the camera out in the rain. I don't have the money to buy a $1,000, $1,500 camera every year, so I don't want to bring it out in the rain. I said, let's just grab the rifles and go for a walk.
I hit him perfect. I hit him absolutely perfect.
Running, gunning, and I think that's the only way we can do that.
Big old Maine smallmouth there. Caught it on a drop shot, about 28 foot of water.
The first 15 minutes.
We were originally going to go out behind my house. We had scouted some land. It was like about 114 acres out behind my house or something like that. That's untouched. It got logged way back when, and there's a snowmobile trail that goes through it. But long story short, I went to go see if we could get access to it. Unfortunately, there was a no trespassing sign, so we shot over to the rifle side of Peter's land. Just to peek our heads in, and not really expecting to see much or anything, but we were just wanting to walk in the woods.
Yeah, I was going to show them just kind of the area that I've scouted, and we got a tree stand in there. I was going to show them that and just kind of give them some lay of the land a little bit. But we got in there, and to our surprise, it was pretty tore up with bucks. It had a bunch of rubs, some good trails going through it. It was super, super thick woods, so we had to go really slow. Same kind of stuff that we normally like to do, and just grunt every once in a while, and especially on those days where you can't help but make noise, you have to make noise. If you throw out a grunt or a doe bleed or some sort of a deer noise as you're going through, a lot of times it could either attract the deer into you, or at least keep them calm enough that when you get through there, you can see them. So we get to one spot and it looks beautiful, and I said, I can't help it. We got to sit here for a little bit. We have to rattle. So we rattle and grunt. We wait about 20 minutes, nothing's happened at all. We get out and we keep kind of making our way through the woods, and we just get into this, it's so thick around us, and we get into this little bit of a hole with a deer trail going right through the middle of it. There's a scrape there, and it was dead quiet.
And we saw a nice track too.
Yeah, decent sized buck track
there.
Just a beautiful spot. So we just I think we were just both stopped out of just enjoying being in that area.
Yeah.
And about, I don't know, probably 100 yards away, 75 yards away, we hear the faintest little...
Just a twitch.
Yeah, just
snap.
Just the smallest branch break.
We got in here today, decided to take a walk. It's really warm, really rainy, ground's wet, so we're like, screw it, it's a good day to walk. We start kind of in here. It just looks really good. As you can tell, we'll pan here in a minute, but it looks beautiful in here. So we stopped back here about a half hour ago and rattled and grunted, waited about 20 minutes, nothing happened. We start coming down this deer trail. And just the faintest little branch break, probably 100 yards away. So I start grunting and doe bleeding, and it starts sounds like it's coming towards us, but we don't know what it is.
Me and Jordan are looking at each other and we're like, I don't know. You know when a bird or a squirrel gets into some of that pucker brush and raspberry bushes, and they kind of make some noise, and we'd hear it once in a while, then we wouldn't hear it for minutes. So I start grunting at it. All of a sudden those branch breaks are getting closer.
Yeah.
And we're getting branch breaks down here, we're getting branch breaks up here. It's like we're surrounded by animals all of a sudden.
And then almost in unison, we heard a loud snap, and it was close. And at the same exact time, both of us came up with our rifles, and you heard both of our safeties click at the same time, because it sounded like he was on top of us.
Yeah. It was one of those things like, how do I not see? Pick your gun up and take your safety off. You're like, how am I not seeing this
You're
animal
just dumbfounded.
right now? Yeah.
It's so thick that you're just dumbfounded how it sounds like he's right on top of you, and you just can't see him.
Yeah.
So eventually we drop our rifles again, and we wait, and we hear snap again, and he's zigzagged, or there was two deer, And
Yeah, we kept grunting at him. I mean, this whole process took legitimately probably 15, 20 minutes from hearing that first twig break to killing him at 30 yards.
Yeah.
So it was probably 2-3 minutes in between it. We'd grunt. We wouldn't hear anything for the longest time. You'd get to the point where it was like, okay, I need to move up. Like, I need to advance on this animal, or, go see if it is actually even a deer. And just as soon as you think, okay, I'm going to sneak up here, you'd hear a snap again. You're like, okay, it's coming. So finally, Jordan says, I see it. All he could see was the feet, right?
But yeah, at first all I saw was the feet. That's kind of my thing. I see feet a lot because you'll notice in the first video, the first buck this year for Jeff, it was feet as well. But all I said was deer, 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 deer. And then as soon as I saw a beam, I just looked at Jeff and I went, buck, big buck, 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 buck.
Yeah, he started kind of going downwind of us. And after he told me it was a buck, I finally could see, because we're sitting probably, we were further apart than this.
Yeah.
Just so we were spread out, and no matter where the buck came from, one of us was going to be able to shoot it. He started coming up to my left. I could see just bits and pieces of him every once in a while. I grunted. He spun on a dime and came back kind of where he just came from, but was going to hook out in front of us.
Finally, it stepped out at like 40 yards maybe.
I don't even think it was that far.
I saw beams and a body, and I put my scope down thinking he was going to step out and Jordan was going to blast him through here.
I could see it cutting out in front of us, and I was like, can you shoot him? He's like,
Didn't have the shot.
Yeah.
It was just, I had a group of trees that kind of branched off in front of me, and from where Jeff was, he had a better angle. So when he asked if I had the shot, I said no. That gave him full permission to pull the trigger, buddy.
and he's I shot through a small hole, and there was a little bit of brush, but I pick up my gun and I'm aiming at him, and I'm on his shoulder, or behind the shoulder, whatever, and I'm like, I was in the middle of telling Jordan, I can see the body, and I was like, I can see the boom, and I shot.
And then I looked back up and he had stopped and I could see his body, so I picked back up, I shot through some brush, but he ran this way with his tail tucked, and it sounded like he crashed in here about 60 yards away. Almost could hear him like death blowing.
We can't tell what he does, it's thick. But he jumps out in front of us, I jack another round in, I shot at him again, actually hit him through the ear that time. Miscounted his jumps. And then took another crack in him at the brush, because I've shot through brush before at animals. In the Maine woods, those are the shots you gotta take. I know a lot of people are like, oh, you gotta wait for them to be perfectly broadside, but in our thick timber like this,
You just can't.
you just can't.
Yeah.
So, but I've seen bullets do some weird stuff going through brush before, so I wasn't positive if I even hit the deer. But we celebrated, we got a little bit excited, and I was
First
like, okay.
thing I said before we walked for blood, though, is if you miss this deer, I'm going to be really mad at you.
Yeah, he's
'Cause
like, if you miss this deer, I'm gonna kill you.
He was one step away from stepping out into that opening, but we were just waiting. And you don't wait. You just take the shot when you can. So Jeff did the right thing.
Yeah.
That's the first rack buck I've seen in a long time.
Oh, dude. I hope you dropped him. That's the hole he shot through right here. And then it ran this way. And we're hoping he's sitting about 60 yards right on the railroad tracks, right there. We're gonna reload. Gotta give him a couple more minutes, and then we're gonna go look for some blood.
We also don't have the big camera with us today.
No, this is all cell phone because, like I said, we just popped in the woods.
Just
No
started
plan.
raining.
No plan, no idea what we were doing. We didn't want to bring the camera out. We just wanted to enjoy ourselves, and boom.
That's when it always happens.
That's when it happens.
One thing that I told him when he ran in front of us, because in the moment, like I said, I wasn't sure if I hit him before we found the blood. I said, well, when he ran out in front of us, that tail of his was tucked hard. And when that tail's tucked hard, after you shoot at a deer, that's usually a pretty good sign that you hit him. At least hit him. Not exactly where, but you hit him. But anyway, we go up, and I find a small speck of lung. And I'm like, oh, I got him. That's lung, that's good. And then we look just past that speck. I've never seen so much blood. It looked like it looked like every piece of his lungs were blown out and right in that area.
Yeah. It looked like someone took a bucket of lung and blood and just
it was up in trees. You could see where the bullet went through the deer, exited, and then went through. I mean, it was eye level. I'm 6'1", and the blood was splattered up eye level.
Guys, there's blood everywhere.
I really wasn't sure. It felt good. My shot felt good. Everything felt great. I wasn't sure until this.
There's blood on everything.
We're gonna get on the blood trail. And,
There's blood up on that tree, There's blood up here. And this is just, that's got hair in it.
Yeah. Well, there's hair here. You can see the exit if you come over here. This is it went through them and hit this tree.
Oh yeah, it did.
Or it hit, well, no, it had to hit him first.
Yeah, that came through.
I mean, look at what I shot through.
Yeah, I know. He was shooting from back in
those
here.
cedars.
And somehow he found a hole. Dude, that deer is dead, my man.
That's my best buck in a long time. So Jordan's just gonna keep rolling.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna follow blood and hopefully walk up, and I'm pretty sure he's dead. And he ran towards the railroad track, which is sweet.
But man, when we saw that blood.
Yeah, talk about a good feeling. Holy cow. And I it's been a long time. 2012 was the last time I saw anything bigger than a 4-point. So a 1.5-year-old's 4-point. So we were pretty jacked up.
That, and to be honest, that was the closest deer interaction I've had. I just started hunting last year as my first official year as rifle hunting. And that was like the closest encounter. That was the first time that I've ever called a buck in and got to experience the rattle and the buck coming in and then waiting him out and then calling to him again. So that was cool.
Yeah.
Dude, look at this blood. It goes straight through here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hook it around.
Yeah. I know. Oh, I can.
It was still, even after seeing all that blood, we get on the blood trail, and I just can't get it out of my head that we're gonna walk up on an alive deer. Like, I need to be ready to shoot a deer that's gonna jump up and run. I don't know why. There was a lot of blood.
I mean, you'll see, we took some camera video footage that you're going to see. And you'll see in the video that you can see a distinct blood trail.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just dark red.
Yeah. But, so, I'm following blood the worst I've ever followed blood in my whole entire life.
You weren't even following blood.
I'm just walking like this.
He's literally walking through the woods looking for a deer. He's not even paying attention to blood.
Boy, I thought he was inside the woods more when he ran through.
No. And when I first said I saw him, all I saw was feet, as always.
I'd be like, he'd see me stop, and then he'd start seeing me like really looking around. He's like, "Did you lose it?" I'd be like, "Yeah." He'd be like, "It's right there."
Yeah, I mean, you could see it clear as day. He just wasn't looking for it.
Did you lose him? Right here, right in front of you, on your left, on the branch. Left again, on the branch.
Going right down this trail.
Right here. Blood. Blood. Right here. Blood right here. Right on that hill.
It's pretty high.
Right on that birch tree. Yeah. Did you lose it? Check the trees.
Put his head up.
Yep.
6-point. He's that broken rack 6-point, dude.
Is he?
He's got that broken beam on his right side. That's a 200-pound deer, I bet.
I got $5 in my pocket to tag it for you, buddy.
I'm pretty sure he's dead. He looks alive the way he's got his head up. But there's no way. Yep, that's that broken rack 6 that I got in the food
Oh my God, dude. Oh, that's a nice freaking buck, dude. He's busted up, dude. Good job.
Oh, thanks for being here, dude.
Dude. Good job. That is a big deer, dude.
He might not be 200, but he's
160, 180.
he's 170s, I bet. Look at the blood. That was him spraying.
I'm not gonna touch him. I just want to get a
picture of him.
I want to get a picture of him, you know. Dude, congrats, man. What a kill. Look at that. Oh my God. Great shot, dude. Great shot on him.
I hit him exactly where I thought
Yeah.
I did.
Dead center. A little far back, but that's because he was
he's-
quartered too a little bit.
Hit him up. Hit him right here.
Yeah.
Hit him perfect.
Look at the hoof on this thing. I know you've seen big deer in your life, but this is my first time, so. Look at the hoof on that thing.
He might be 200. He's gonna be pushing it.
We found him, guys. Look at this guy. Look at how beautiful this animal is.
An awesome, probably 3-year-old Maine buck. I know he doesn't have a big rack on him, like a normal 3-year-old would.
He's been doing work though.
I got a bunch of pictures of this buck. That's the biggest and best buck I've seen in Maine since 2012.
He died with a branch in his mouth.
Yeah.
Jeff.
Are you kidding me?
Dude, you did it.
I haven't seen a deer.
You just got to hunt with me from now on.
Holy, I guess. If you can't go, I ain't going.
What a beaut, man. Look at the body on him. He's got some mass to him. Real sorry if this video is bad, but I'm shaking like a friggin' leaf.
It's a
and
cell phone. We wanted to come out for fun today. It's spitting rain. I said, I'm not chancing it. I don't have the money to spend on cameras and stuff. I said, I'm not chancing it. I'm not bringing the camera with us. So we're just gonna go out. This is our first time actually ever hunting on this property, which is always usually the best, but this was one of the greatest hunts I've had in a long time, as far as just how long we could hear this buck coming from a long ways, but he was sneaking, and we finally called him in and killed him. Well guys, here he is. I'm gonna speak up because I have no idea how good my audio is gonna be on a cell phone, but this is a buck we called Slick. I shot at him a few times actually when he ran by us, and I hit him through the ear one time, but this big Slick right here, we got a ton of pictures of this buck on our food plots, which are probably 500 yards away on the expanded side. But I knew that this side was pretty good too. I didn't know that they were over here. This is our first time ever in these woods, so I got a bunch of pictures of him. He broke this off pretty early, but I just can't. I'm just super in shock. Can't thank Jordan enough. He was with me on both the bucks this year. Best year in the whitetail woods I've ever had, and it was one of the slowest years in the whitetail woods that I've ever had. Saw 2 deer in the last 2 months and shot both of them. So again, we're doing what we're supposed to do and get deer off this property. This isn't a deer, you know, he's 3 years old, probably dressed out. He'll probably get close to 170, I bet. And just, you know, for the most part, a 3-year-old shouldn't have a rack like this. So a pretty trash rack for a 3-year-old, but best buck I've shot in a long time. And I am so freaking pumped. Can't even believe it. But we got a long drag ahead of us. Just want to give you guys a little bit better look at old Slick Boy before we get him out of the woods. Give him a ride in the truck to the house. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked the hunt. I'm sorry we didn't get the kill shot on camera for you. That actually bothers me a lot. That's one of my very important things to a hunt, is actually having that kill shot. But it was, like we said, it was a rainy day. We didn't want to waste have the potential to ruin a camera. So we just decided to take a day off of filming and do some deer hunting, which I do 3 or 4 times a year. It's kind of nice to not lug all that extra stuff around once in a while. So yeah, it was, you know, a really cool hunt. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, it's gonna go down as one of my favorite hunts for sure. A deer that I had a lot of history with, had a ton of pictures with, never actually saw the deer on the hoof, but to go in there and shoot him, and not only is he a deer that I'm super proud of and very thankful to have, but as far as genetics go for the herd, we have a lot better bucks that I rather do the breeding anyway. So he really was the perfect deer to take out. Ended up dressing out 183 pounds. So
Yeah.
just a good 3-year-old maiden buck. Just happened to have poor genetics in the antler department, but
He was a fun hunt.
yep, he was. So now that we're done this stuff, we're actually sitting in camp. Smoky Point. Smoky Point Camp.
Yep.
Up in the big woods. Jordan here is hunting.
Day 2 of official hunting.
We got one more day left at this point, but we're going to show you guys day by day everything we see, everything we found, the struggles, the ups, the downs. We're going to show you everything.
Yep.
So after this is done, next video,
big woods deer hunting.
Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and the little bell to get a notification anytime we upload a new video. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks, guys.